Phillips was born on March 17, 1984, in Allentown, Pennsylvania, to Steve and Melissa Phillips. Steve was a violent drug addict and alcoholic, instilling fear in both Phillips and Melissa. He enforced strict rules, especially forbidding other children in the house when he was absent, and had an unexplained dislike for young girls. The family moved from Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania to Jacksonville, Florida, separating Phillips from his half-brothers Daniel and Benji. By November 1998, 14-year-old Phillips was living with his family in Jacksonville. Neighbors described him as quiet and friendly. Clifton's mother, Sheila, considered Phillips a friend of her daughter and saw no reason to fear him. Phillips had no prior arrests or history of violence. His school teacher noted he was a popular student, characterized by his fun and silly demeanor. On November 3, 1998, Phillips was home alone when Clifton, a neighbor, asked him to play baseball. While playing, Phillips accidentally hit Clifton in the eye with the ball, causing her to bleed and scream. Panicking, Phillips dragged Clifton into his house, during which her lower body clothing came off. To stop her screaming, he hit her with the bat and hid her under his bed. When his father came home, Phillips interacted with him before returning to his room and discovering Clifton was still alive. He then killed her by cutting her throat and stabbing her with a knife. Clifton's disappearance was reported around 5 p.m., prompting a search that lasted 6 days, during which Phillips participated. A week later, his mother found a wet spot in his room, leading to the discovery of Clifton's body. Phillips was arrested at school and confessed to the murder. Prosecutors contested parts of Phillips' story. State Attorney Harry Shorstein suggested a possible sexual motive, though the autopsy found no evidence of sexual assault. Prosecutors pointed out inconsistencies in Phillips's account, such as the lack of dirt and sand on Clifton's body, and no blood in the backyard or on the baseball, challenging the details of his version of events. Phillips was tried as an adult, with the trial moved from Duval County to Polk County due to publicity concerns in Jacksonville. His lawyer, Richard D. Nichols, adopted a controversial defense strategy, calling no witnesses and relying heavily on his closing argument, which portrayed Clifton's death as a tragic accident that escalated due to panic. Nichols did not question Phillips about the events, and instead spent visits playing chess with him. Despite his mother's objections, Phillips' father supported Nichols' strategy, and Phillips did not testify. The trial, beginning on July 6, 1999, lasted only 2 days. The lack of defense witnesses contributed to the short duration. The jury took just over 2 hours to convict Phillips of first-degree murder. He was sentenced to life imprisonment without parole, as he was too young to be eligible for the death penalty. During the trial, the defense attempted to present neurological evidence of bilateral lesions on Phillips's frontal lobe, linked to panic and impaired judgment. The prosecution wanted to introduce evidence of Phillips viewing pornography. However, the judge ruled both pieces of evidence inadmissible.